astronaut training facility. Since 1980, every NASA astronaut has walked the floors of this building in preparation for their next mission. Their primary objective is updating hardware for our current space station, as well as preparing for the next generation of space flight, which is the Artemis program. Now, to begin, if you look to the far right side of that facility underneath that American flag, you're going to see full-scale mock-ups of the International Space Station modules. The modules that you see are a mixture of low, medium, and high-fidelity mock-ups. They're used to train astronauts that will travel to the ISS in basic procedures or system familiarization. To understand the size of the ISS, it measures about 356 feet or 109 meters. That's roughly as long as an American football field. The ISS is traveling around the Earth so fast that in one 24-hour period, it revolves around the Earth 16 times. The station's purpose is to conduct science experiments that cannot be done here on Earth. And the station has had many scientific breakthroughs throughout its years in orbit, like innovations in water filtration and purification systems, which allows them to recycle 98% of water on board. The ISS is a global partnership of 15 different countries and 5 space agencies, which helps guarantee that the discoveries made in orbit will be shared throughout the world. They've been working for over 20 years to create the most prominent international peacetime collaboration in history. Now, if you look in front of the ISS module with the mission patches, you'll see a gray capsule. This is the Russian Soyuz meaning unity, and it launches out of Kazakhstan. It is used to transport astronauts, cosmonauts, and cargo to the ISS. After the decommissioning of the Space Shuttle program in 2011, NASA relied on the Russian Soyuz as the only mode of transportation to and from the ISS. That is until the launch of the SpaceX rocket in 2020. This started NASA's Commercial Crew Program. NASA's idea behind the Commercial Crew Program is to allow private companies like SpaceX, Boeing, and others to collaborate on missions to and from the ISS. And speaking of the Commercial Crew Program, this white 3-story structure you're going to see is the training mock-up for Starlab. Starlab is the next generation of commercial space stations. Starlab is designed for long-duration missions that can support a wide array of capabilities following the retirement of the ISS in 2030. These capabilities include continuing humanity's orbital presence, science experimentation, and orbital manufacturing. This does conclude this first half. Please take any last-minute photos before we move down to the second half of the building.
মই যুগল কলিতাই কৈছোঁ মাৰ্চৰ 25-26 তাৰিখেদি আমি হিউষ্টনৰ নাছা এষ্ট্ৰনট ট্ৰেইনিং চেণ্টাৰত ইয়াত মহাকাশলৈ যোৱা যাত্ৰীবিলাকক প্ৰশিক্ষণ দিয়া হয় তাৰ আমি এটা টুৰ লৈ আছোঁ দেখুৱাই আছে এজনী ছোৱালী আৰু কৈ গৈ আছে আমি এতিয়া আছোঁ এটা 3মহলীয়া বিৰাট ডাঙৰ ঘৰৰ ভিতৰত তাৰ ভিতৰত বিভিন্ন কাৰণত মহাকাশলৈ যোৱা মহাকাশচাৰীবিলাকক প্ৰশিক্ষণ দিয়া হয় ইয়াত মহাকাশযানবিলাকৰ নকল কৰি সেই নকলৰ ভিতৰত তেওঁলোকক প্ৰশিক্ষণ দিয়া হয় সেইটোৱে আমি চাই আছোঁ ছোৱালীজনী বুজাই গৈ আছে তাই কম বয়সীয়া ছোৱালী বেছি বয়সীয়া নহয় এতিয়া আকৌ ক'ব
As you'll continue making your way forward, if you look towards the back wall, you're going to see a blue H-like structure. That is the 6-degree freedom dynamic test system, or SDTS. SDTS was originally designed to simulate the relative dynamics of docking or connecting things in space. This system used real-time applications to get the most accurate information on the docking processes. And if you look to the right of that, you're going to see a large silver capsule. That is the Orion Command Module. This is a capsule that's been specifically designed to take humans back to the surface of the moon. Engineers and astronauts have been doing extensive training and research to help prepare Orion for its first crewed mission. The launch of Artemis 1 on November 16th of 2022 was an uncrewed but successful mission that taught us that Orion can complete the enormous goals it was built to achieve. The Orion capsule is larger compared to the Apollo mission capsules. Orion can hold 4 astronauts, while the Apollo can only hold 3. For a closer look, you can visit the full-size Orion research model we have in our Mission Bars exhibit back at Space Center, Houston. Now to the right of the Orion, you're going to see the Blue Moon Mark II Blue Origin's lunar lander. Although this is a training mock-up, the actual flight-certified lunar lander Endurance is currently undergoing vacuum chamber testing in Building 32, which we passed on our way here. Endurance is scheduled to launch early of this year on an uncrewed test, just to make sure that this can verify each of the lander's essential systems to support astronauts who will be landing on the moon. Once again, this is going to be Blue Origin's lunar lander, which is part of the commercial crew program that we talked about earlier. And now if you look to the far left side of the building, you're going to notice a smaller blue metal structure with lights currently turned on. This is called Argos, the Active Response Gravity Offload System. This system uses an overhead crane or robot system to offset the weight of whatever or whoever's attached to it. Astronauts can test a wide variety of motions on this, such as running, jumping, and walking in these reduced gravity environments. Experienced astronauts have said that this simulator comes very close to how it feels in space. NASA's been working with medical professionals to try and deploy a simulator like Argos in hospitals to aid in rehabilitation efforts in their patients. And now this black metal structure you're going to see closest to the window is called Argos 2, which is just an expansion of the original but smaller Argos. It'll serve the same purpose. Once completed, it will have an overhead system to offset the weight, to simulate what it would be like to move around on the moon, Mars, and microgravity. Now this does conclude our tour of the astronaut training facility. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves and learned a bit more about the scientific marvels being developed here at Johnson Space Center. We're going to be heading back downstairs and boarding the tram. Thank you for your time and attention.
মহাকাশচাৰীসকলৰ প্ৰশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্ৰৰ ভ্ৰমণটো শেষ হ'ল। আমি এতিয়া নামি যামগৈ এই ঘৰটোৰ পৰা, প্ৰশিক্ষণ কেন্দ্ৰৰ পৰা। যুগল কলিতাই কৈছোঁ।